change. See, as a party spokesperson, I have been doing my job, and as you know, um, the last 7 days, my only intent, my only commitment was to Amma and keeping the party together. At this moment of huge change, as you know, after our respected Amma passed away, December 5th, we all got inducted as ministers with Mr. O Panneerselvam as the Chief Minister. There was nothing like an interim arrangement. It was a permanent arrangement. And the 60 days past that, we gave a great governance to Tamil Nadu. Everybody recognizes the fact that we were fast, we were responsive to the people's interests, and every minister worked like hell, like Varda, cyclone, or whether it is Jallikattu issue, or whether it is Krishna water issue. I think the government responded with alacrity, and we did what we need to do. But suddenly, as you know, there was a move to change the Chief Minister, and as a party soldier, I was also party to it. I won't deny that at all. And this thought that both the power centers, the government and the party should be in the same hands, was the reason why we all did vote with good intent. But the last 7 days, I've seen the groundswell of support from every party worker and every member of the public, voting public, in favor of Mr. O Panneerselvam and the governance that he offered. I have not seen this kind of a tsunami of public support in my political career in the last 20 years. That's the kind of support I saw. You'll be surprised, in the last 7 days I would have got at least 7,000 calls, where people from all over the place, the entire Tamil speaking world, around the world, there were people who made calls, and they really felt the collective psyche of the party is towards Mr. O Panneerselvam. That's the reason I believe the only person around whom the party can rally around would be Mr. O Panneerselvam, and that's the reason I've declared my support to Mr. O Panneerselvam, who is the party treasurer and who has been the elected Chief Minister, though right now he heads the caretaker government. We hope and believe that the governor will invite him to form a permanent government under AIADMK. That's our belief. That's the reason. Yeah, you're sure, there may be a bit of a change. Yes, it is a change, and I've taken it with my full conscience. My commitment in this party is towards Amma, who made a huge difference to me personally. In fact, she personally vested me with so many great portfolios and GST Council and everything. The last words of her ring so strong in my heart and mind. I told her during the last public function she attended, which was my swearing-in ceremony, where half an hour we spent together. I told her I will always strive to live your faith in me, and she responded saying that I'm absolutely sure you will. So that's really the legacy that she has left behind for me, and to live that legacy, I believe that the party has to be together. We can do nothing which will jeopardize the two-leaf symbol, and I really see a groundswell of support today towards Mr. O Panneerselvam in the hearts and minds of every voter in Tamil Nadu. And I'm quite convinced that some of the apprehensions that some of us had, that DMK will kind of be the gainer if party, there is a wavering of any kind. I'm quite convinced that Mr. O Panneerselvam will run the party and the government in a way that Puratchi Thalavar MGR ran and the way Puratchi Thalavi Amma ran. And I'm quite convinced that this will not be a stooge or appendage to DMK. This will be a party in its own right, along the path laid down by our respected leader Puratchi Thalavi Amma.
So you're saying then there is no way that Mr. O Panneerselvam is induced by any party, or there is no way that he's being influenced or being directed by, because there have been talks about the DMK is trying to there have been allegations in fact from subsequent.
I made that allegation, and I have no shame in admitting that there have been apprehensions, but I stand convinced that it's not going to be so. AIADMK will continue along the path laid down by Puratchi Thalavi Amma and Dr. MGR. And I'm quite convinced that Mr. O Panneerselvam has emerged as a man in his own right, as a hero in his own right, as a politician who's humble, who has demonstrated that he can run a government effectively over the last 2 months. And I believe that people like us should be here to support him at this point in time. And you will see a flurry of people who would come and make their support known, because everybody believes that you can't go out and seek votes in the name of any other party leader. It has to be Mr. O Panneerselvam, and we think it is the time to align ourselves so that the party is together. Thanks.
So, someone just one final question. This last question was. This is the last question was just based on that only. You said a lot of people will join O Panneerselvam. There will be a flurry of people coming. But on the other hand, we had Sasikala, who's asked an appointment from the governor, saying that she will parade the MLAs also, and asking the governor to give her since she's claiming the majority, ask her to form the government. What do you think?
I think the governor has been convinced in the discussions we had earlier. There are many precedents which state that the place to test majority whenever there are two factions is the floor of the house and not the precincts of Raj Bhavan. I think there have been many cases when this has been proven repeatedly. So I know the governor is a person, a man of high propriety, and he would follow whatever constitution dictates him to follow. And my sensing is that he will wait for the judgment to happen, and for right reasons. Article 164, Section 4 talks about the case of a non-member getting elected as a CM designate, where the person has to get elected within 6 months. And if the person does not have an opportunity to stand for an election, then 164(4) dictates that the governor has to ensure that he swears in or invites as a CM candidate only someone who has an opportunity to get elected. That's the reason I think governor will wait for the judgment which the Honorable Supreme Court has said will be delivered within the next 2-3 days. That's what we hope. And at that point in time, I hope that the governor will invite us to form a permanent government, which is what I think likely to happen.
Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome.